I'd say 150.
Do they have a problem with that? Too much?
Well, we're gonna run this by Joe. He'll probably-
Yeah, yeah.
But what about height? You know?
Oh, they get pretty tall, don't they?
Yeah, some of these new houses are.
Yeah,
Really?
well, I mean, if somebody wants to come in and put in
People ceilings.
Yeah,
a small
25.
lot, they can get it on a small lot, but go way up.
Yeah, 25 feet isn't very tall.
No.
In today's.
George Glass's
building
house is
market.
taller than that. That's close to it.
So that has maximum height of 2.5 stories. Some of those newer homes down by Des Moines are 3 to 4 stories high.
Yeah.
Well, we want to discourage anybody from building something like that. You know, I didn't assess valuation of that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to encourage development, not to discourage it. So, how high do you want it? How high would you want it next to you? How tall is your building, Steve?
Put a flashing light on when you hit 60.
There you go.
Ours is about 34 feet.
Can't be having airplanes crashing into you again.
This one shows 35-foot height here. I like what they have here for maximum height. Let's have 2.5 stories or 35 feet.
See, I hate to limit anybody to 2.5 stories, though.
A lot of these new houses with a 12-inch roof, they're tall.
Yeah. Well, what about the one apartments up there in the corner that Manchester
Yeah.
built? How tall is that?
Well, it's 3 stories.
25.
It's 3 stories.
More than
and one
25.
So is it 35 feet tall or less or more?
I mean, it's real close to.
I don't see why you have to have maximum height on residential dwelling.
You know, people aren't gonna get, for a single, especially single family, you're not gonna,
You know,
you're not gonna build a
you
sky
know, put the
rise.
antenna, you know.
And then, you know,
I
if you
just- I
don't,
don't
if you
see
don't
why that
have one,
position-
then
Yeah.
they build their house as they want to.
You gotta figure in at least 10 foot per floor. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because most are home 9-foot ceilings now, some are taller than that.
Mhm.
So we're limited in R2 to 2.5 feet. 2.5 stories or 35 feet. So, do we want to raise it or not?
Well, if we got it in one though,
I think it should be standardized across.
yeah, we probably ought to have something.
Those size lots and those size houses, that you want to have built on those, I think it should be raised to at least 45.
I don't even know why you need it.
And two.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think,
I don't-
if we're arguing about the height, let's strike.
Okay, what about then?
Do you think it ever run into a height issue building a house?
Not on a half acre
I don't
lot.
see that.
What about the accessory building structures? Do you still want to keep that at 25 feet? It's pretty tall.
I think so.
Okay, now, let's go back to your setbacks, your front, side, and rear. What are we gonna do there?
What is a normal setback? I mean, for most of the homes around here, especially in our older,
Well, the lot is 25, but we have them all the way up to next to 0. We have
Because of the
several
old-
6-foot setbacks on Leonard Street.
that's true.
I think all the setbacks look fine. What I would
Probably
change,
not like 3rd Street.
Yeah.
Is the accessory buildings?
accessory building, that 15th look to the rear, change it to number 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, like a garden shed, they have the garden in the back, or the,
Okay, what he's saying is change the rear setback then to 3 feet for the accessory buildings and structures, and leave everything else the same. Is that what you want?
25 feet is way too much.
So did we decide, are we striking the maximum height?
Well, I stuck in 45 feet. Do we need this? That's what
I
I
don't.
put in there.
I just put a number.
And then, well, and that would be for an accessory building or whatever, we're gonna strike that too,
We're
or
gonna, no, we're gonna leave the 25 feet for
Right.
the accessory building, they say.
Okay.
So then, you're okay then with the front, the side and the rear setbacks or not?
the 15, 5 and 15. And unless you want them to be able to put their garden shed back by the, we've had that 3 to 5 feet thing forever.
My shed's right behind my garage, like within 3 feet. Works. But not everybody wants to do that, so. And I don't have an alley or anything like that. If you have an alley, it makes a difference too, because you have accessibility, so. Okay, so those are the changes that you want. You want this to be the new category.
The problem with setback on rear setback on accessory buildings is, and it's not a big problem, but if you get it too close to the lot line, it becomes a junkyard for the neighbors across the fence. If it's too close, they start throwing junk in back there, and it's just, it's not maintained. Otherwise, if you have 15 foot or, but then that becomes another problem.
Yeah, in a lot of areas, 15 foot looks good, but there's some areas where
Yeah.
it gets it
So
right.
can't we asterisk that or something, or, and do that on a case by case? Of course, we're talking the new thing.
New thing,
Right.
if you're gonna build a $300,000 house.
Yeah, I would think 15 would be fine for that,
Okay.
Yeah,
You know,
especially
we're-
these large lots.
especially on a large lot.
For the,
So we're
just
not
leave it
really,
15 feet
we're
for
not
the
really
urban
discussing
transition.
what we presently have in the other one, except that we need to propose something, is that right?
Right. So we'll leave it at 15 then for the new urban
Yeah, I
transition.
think so.
I like to get around the 5, but that's my opinion.
Probably not gonna have alleys in these.
No, see, you're gonna have plenty of, and we gotta remember that stormwater thing, so, right? Okay. Anything else? You guys take a look at it again, and if this is the one that I'll send to Joe, we can read it.
When this all gets close to happening, I'd like to see something done with minimum lot size in the in-town area like it was.
Well, then we need to change that now, and R1 and R2 attached there. If you want changes, let's make them now, so that we can make the changes
You
on
look in here, the R1 65 and 2 and 3 are 55. And I don't know if that was just an error with the drawing.
Okay. So you're looking at R1 and R2, right?
Let's start to,
R2 says 55, R1 says 65. What do we want it to say?
make them both the same, make them both 55, that was just.
Now, you won't have any building on the south side of Main Street without 2 lots if you keep this to 65.
Okay, so we need to change that to 55. Okay, any other changes there?
The biggest complaint, I get a lot of complaints about moving that change from 3 foot to 15 on the rear.
I changed the rear setback to 10 on 3,
Change that to 3.
On both R1 and R2?
but,
That's the way it was up until,
if you were in the middle of town, most of them have garages out back. If anybody buys a lot building in your house, you can move 15 feet off the alley, the back door's going.
Okay.
and it's a waste of 15 between.
Yeah.
Are there any other figures in there that need to be taken out, discussed? Are we just good with that? So actually, I have the minimum rear side yard setbacks at 3 feet on both R1 and R2, and changing the minimum lot width for R1 to 55 feet. Is that right? We're all in agreement here, so you can't say, Shirley, where'd you get that?
You can say that anyway.
Oh, did somebody say something about mobile home, or you just gonna leave that alone? Okay. Because there is a mobile home park overlay district that I don't know why. Okay. I'll get that to Joe, and then